I would like to introduce you to another type of line that you may not have seen before. So far, when we've been talking about graphing, we've been doing kind of lines that are diagonal like this or like that. You are going to start running into equations that are going to look like x equals whatever, a just represents a thing, or y equals something. What that is telling you is that if you have an equation that is x is equal to a thing, every single point on that line is going to have that same value for your x coordinate. So in this particular case, I have x is equal to -1. So my horizontal line here is my x-axis. In order for me to have a line that is the same value, I'm going to need to have a vertical line. So I'm going to draw a line vertically down my -1 for my x. So every single point on that line is going to have -1 as my value for x. Similarly, if I were going to be looking at something that is y is equal to 2 in this case, since my vertical axis is my y, in order for me to have that happen, I'm going to need to do a horizontal line. So y is equal to 2, so I'm going to draw a line across this 2 here, and ideally it would have been straight, but I can't fit my ruler in the space I'm working in. Those two are fairly straightforward. However, you are going to encounter things that look a little bit more like what I have here for C and D. For C, you're going to have 2y is equal to 5. However, as it stands, I can't actually graph that because I have 2y. I have 2 times whatever the value of y is going to be. In order to solve that problem, I'm going to divide both sides by 2, which I'm going to find that y is equal to 2.5. Y is equal to 2.5. I can graph that. That is not an issue. So in this particular case, it is going to kind of go in between 2 lines. So y is equal to 2.5. So once again, it's going to need to be a horizontal line, and it's going to be around here. Ideally, it would be much straighter than what I'm doing right now, but that is what it's going to look like. It's going to be that line right above the green one, which is a little hard for you to see, but I promise you it is indeed there. And the other type that you are going to see on occasion is going to be like what you have here for D. We have 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So one of the big problems starting here is I have all of my things on one side of my equal sign, which I can't graph that as it stands. So I'm going to need to add 3 to both sides in order to cancel it out on the one side. So I'm going to be left with 2x is equal to 3. Still one issue here, and that issue is I have 2x is equal to 3. I need to figure out what my value of x is. So in order to do that, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I'm going to find out that x is equal to 3 over 2, or if it's easier for you, 1.5. So as I mentioned, this horizontal line is my x-axis. In order to have a line that has every single value of that line with the coordinate being 1.5, it has to be a vertical line. So it's kind of going opposite than what the axis may lead you to believe. So we're going to be going in here a little after 1. So ideally it would be straight, but we're freestyling it here for a second. So yes, when you are doing these, please use a ruler. You are likely not stuck into the constraints that I'm right here with my workspace. However, these are a few different examples of types of lines that you're going to be introduced to. Hopefully this sort of gives you an idea of what these may look like, and that even though they look a little bit different from at first glance, they are not as confusing as you may have initially thought. Hopefully this helps.